everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using the Crisp Air scrapbooking and thin cut set along with the Gratitude thin cuts. Okay, these are the thin cuts and this is the stamp set, and I'm going to use several of those images that are in the stamp set. I'm also going to use Crisp Air pattern papers and some of the cardstock colors along with mocha glitter paper and some of the Crisp Air stickers. Okay, so let's get started. I've got scraps of various colors and most of these are in the Crisp Air collection. So this is the light side of pink, the light side of peach. And then I've also pulled all the various stamp pads, the colors that are part of the Crisp Air collection, with the addition of Desert Rose. So I'm going to start out with the light side of peach and peach ink along with Desert Rose, and I'm going to do rock and roll stamping. So I'm inking up my floral stamp in peach, and then I'm just inking the edges of the stamp in the darker colors. So I'm just kind of rolling it around. And then you can also huff on it to re-moisten it to before you stamp and transfer that ink to your cardstock. So just breathe on it and huff on it to re-moisten it. Okay, so I did it with the smaller floral image, and then there's a stamp for the center of the flower, and I'm stamping that in mocha. Okay, you'll see me do this a few more times. So let's do this one with the light side of Sundance. So I have Sundance ink and Paprika ink. So I'm going to ink up this large flower and then just roll the edges in Paprika. You can put as much ink on it as you want or just do a little bit. Inking it up and then rolling it around and stamping down. And then I'll stamp the centers in mocha. So I'm going to stack these two flowers on top of each other. Okay, let's do the light side of Desert Rose. So I'm going to ink it up in Desert Rose, and then instead of using two different colors, I'm going to stamp it off and use the second generation and then roll my stamp around. Okay. And then again, I'll use that center image for in mocha. So I'm stamping it off, and then I'm rolling the edges around and then stamping down. Okay, so that's a second generation rock and roll. We'll do it again with Sapphire, and this is on white cardstock. Stamping it off and then rolling the edges around. So you get that lighter color in the center and then the darker, more intense color on the edges. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp the leaves in pine. This is a new color, and this stamp pad is now available to everyone. They released it early. So you can purchase this right now if you want to. I'll add a link with other information in the description below. So you can get this and all of the other supplies that I'm using. So again, I'm stamping it off and then rolling the edges around. Then I'm going to stamp on the light side of Sage. And these are just going to be two full strength images without any rock and rolling. Okay, so now I have all my images stamped, and these are the coordinating thin cuts. And then I'm going to die cut the word thankful in mocha glitter paper. I've also cut it 2 more times in white cardstock, and then I've cut a piece of glitter paper at 1/4 inch by 5.5. Okay, so now the other components, we'll trim those out real quickly. I'm using pine cardstock. This is also available now. I'm cutting that at 4 1/4 by 5.5. That'll be my base. And then I'm cutting this piece of Crisp Air cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4. And then this pattern paper, I'm going to do a little strip of it on the left edge of my card, so I'm cutting that at about 1.5 inches by 5.25. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring in a card base. And this is a regular A2 card base. It's 4.25 by 5.5, and I'm just going to lay everything out on my card to get an idea of how I want the design to look. So I'm going to add that thankful thin cut in mocha glitter paper. And then I'm just going to lay out all of my flowers. Kind of make a cluster of flowers coming from the bottom left corner. I'm just going to pack as many of these images in as I can. They're all so pretty. Okay. So we'll start layering everything, and I'm just using Tombow tape runner. Then I'll use foam dots to pop some of those flowers. I'm going to stack them and pop them with foam tape. So just like I laid it out, I'm going to put everything down. And then I'll add that strip of mocha glitter paper with some glue. And then we'll skip ahead in just a second. Trim off the excess. And then I'm going to stack my thankful sentiment. So I'm just going to glue these 2 white cardstock die cuts out and stack them on top of each other. And then I'll add the mocha, and then I'll glue the whole thing to my card front. Stacking your die cuts, it gives them a little more stability and definition and dimension. So they look like they're popped up a little bit more. And then I'm just going to add everything with foam tape and tape runner. Okay. And then I'm going to add some of these crisp air dots. They come in all the colors in the collection. They come in dots and hearts and stars. So I'm just picking dots in various colors and scattering them all over the card front. Then for the last touch, I'm going to add a couple of these stickers from the Crisp Air collection and tuck those in among the flowers. I love all the colors in this collection. They're so pretty. There's my finished card. So I'll make a list of all the supplies I used with links in the description below. They're all available now in my online store. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all my videos. And thanks for watching.